Hello, hello guys. Today I want to speak about the audio, the long howl that I recorded at the Pyrenees. So some people ask me from time to time, ask me questions about if it could be a coyote, if it could be a wolf, that there are dogs, those are dogs. And those are valid questions. Some are made by people that know a little about canines. Some usually don't know anything about it, so I'm going to try to explain how it came to be the audio on the Pyrenees. And so I'm going to try to be quick. So this is a photo of the Pyrenees, the area around where I recorded the long howl. So you can see the terrain. It's amazing. Another valley around that place. You get snow most of the months of the year, but lots of snow on the winter. Here you can see it's very high altitude where the conifers or the pines grow until they can grow no more. So that's the tree line above, so probably around 2,400 meters, something like that. It depends, but it's around that high on the Pyrenees where the trees can grow. Going to show you, and speak about a little bit about my background. Some of you guys know that I work with wildlife, so I usually do that for a living, in fact, doing some impact assessment studies. And this is a photo of a wolf track. You can see the rear paw. And just to tell you guys that I'm not a city guy that now it's trying to know something about Sasquatch and realize that there's a world out there. So since my 15 years old, I'm 45 now, 44. And since my 15 years old, so since my young age, I'm going into the forest, into the field. I'm a keen bird watcher. I know all the birds by sound, and I know all the birds around Europe. I'm used to track all the mammals, so deer, mustelids, that's around weasels and foxes, wolves. So we don't have bear frequently in Portugal. They come and they enter through the north and then they leave to Spain. So there's a bigger population in the north of Spain and also in the Pyrenees, but you don't get wolves on the Pyrenees, and we are going to talk about the Pyrenees. So going to run here Google Earth for you guys to see it. So this is Europe. As you can see, this is the Mediterranean Sea with Italy, then France, and this is the Iberian Peninsula with Spain and Portugal at the southwestern part and closer to the country closer to the America, in fact, and to the United States. So this connection between France and Spain, it's divided by a mountainous region that it's called the Pyrenees. And this is the area that I have recorded, and that I have recorded that long howl. And there are some sightings in the last years, and there's a lot of folklore around wild man, Sasquatch, Bigfoot in this area. Okay. So let me close here Google Earth. We don't need it no more. So let me go here. So this is the photo, okay. And here I'm going to show you and I'm going to speak about the wolf population on the Pyrenees, because some people ask me if there are any coyotes there, any wolves. So I'm going to let you know that there are no coyotes in Europe. Coyotes are a North American, Central North American canine species, so they only live from the Strait of Panama, I think, up. So Mexico, United States, Canada, that's where you can find coyotes. So in Europe, you don't have coyotes, but you have wolves, and you have an emerging population of jackals, golden jackals, that I'm going to speak about them in a minute. So as you can see, France, Iberian Peninsula, at green you can see the areas where are the most wolf packs. So the bigger population of wolves in Spain and Portugal is on the northeast. And so the north of Portugal here at gray, you can see where you can find the wolves in Portugal. And then the surrounding area, without touching the Pyrenees, the subspecies of wolf of the Iberian Peninsula, the subspecies signatus, it's not present at the Pyrenees. You can see some dots here at green because the population coming from Italy, it's widening their distribution, and so some wandering animals have been showing in the last 5 years in the Pyrenees, but mostly on the French side of the border. And I think there are only known like 1 or 2 wolf packs. If you know anything about wolves, they usually run in pack families. So the cubs that grow up in the second year of their, when they reach their maturity, they still stay with the family, with the wolf pack. And about 2 years then, so they stay for the first year, but on the second year they usually leave the wolf pack. That's why the wolf packs don't grow to huge numbers. They usually have between 4 or 5 animals. They can even have 2, like the male and the female, and they live, and they can grow to 18, 20 at most. There are some wolf packs with 18, 20 at most, and then some of the sightings of bigger wolf packs are not well documented in the wild, and some are just lore. But most people think that wolves can gather without knowing themselves. No, they don't. They generally kill themselves. So the wolf pack, it's a family structure pack. So the father, the mother, and all the other ones are just young and their progeny, you know. And when they grow up, and when the males mature enough that they usually don't how can I say it? They don't try to put their father away of the wolf pack, and they don't try to menace his leadership. So they leave. Usually those wolves with 1-year-old, they leave, and they try to constitute their own wolf pack. So that's why wolf packs never grow above 13, 18, 20 wolves. So these wolf packs in the Pyrenees and these wolves are very rare. So so light green is like sightings, and darker green it's areas where some kind of a wolf pack have been going around. So as you can see, even wolves are very rare in the Pyrenees. And why I'm showing you that, because some people, when they hear the howl, they can really understand that's a howl, and that's something that they've heard from a canine, from a dog howling, from a wolf. So they immediately try to understand if I have misidentified that audio, and if I was in fact capturing a wolf or a dog howling instead of a Sasquatch. So we are going to see the relation between canines and canine howls and Sasquatch howls. Before that, and before I'm going to start talking about that, I'm going to show you the I'm going to show you the howl for you guys to hear again. So let me take all the filters and show you guys the recording. So this is the spectrograph of the recording, and I'm going to play it. Okay, so let me show you guys what you are seeing. So we are going to expand, and I'm going to show you. So at the end that you remember, you could see all these dots. These dots are the dogs barking. So I can show you the dogs barking only. And you guys can clearly understand these ones are dogs. So the dogs, the real sound and the fundamental recording and the fundamental frequency is this one. So they are barking around 500 and 500 hertz, and these ones are the overtones that constitute the harmonics. So if I only show you the barks here, they will sound funny because even the overtones constitute the overall sound that you perceive. So let me show you just the dogs. As you can see, it's funny, but if I show you only the overtone, it would be even funnier because you see, and what you hear, it's both overtones and both the fundamental frequency of the bark. So the long howl, I want to show you, the long howl is this darker line that goes from here at 835 hertz and stretches, and it goes down a little bit and goes around 760, 780 hertz and stretches along 30 seconds, more or less, till here. We don't see it very clearly but if I put the gain very, very high and I diminish the contrast, oh, something's going on here that it's not working. I don't know why. No, it's too much. So it was probably too much. Okay. So here you can see that if I put the gain, I can clearly see till where the flat howl goes. So around here. and it's more than 30 seconds. So that I know, there is no record of known record of a long howl made by a Sasquatch so long. So I know that the guys on the Olympic Peninsula and on the Olympic project, the Chris Spencer, he is the audio guy on that project, and I have seen a video of him showing some vocals and some howls that they call them singing howls. And those singing howls, I think, are most closely resemble this one that I recorded at the Pyrennes. Even the singing howl recorded by the Olympic project is around 18 seconds. It's a very long one. I can show you. I think I can show you guys. So this is video. Nothing. So let me try to show you. Okay, a little bit before. So it starts here. And then they have some response vocals to this very long howl. However, this long howl is under 500 hertz. And I think they have another singing howl with harmonics, with also that is also very long. So you can see it. You can go to Chris Spencer YouTube, and under the video called "Suspicious Singing," and you can see Chris explaining why they call it singing, because that's not a very usual it's not a very usual howl that they recorded. Only a few times they have recorded, so two different howls, and it looks like different individuals responding to each other in different frequencies. That's why on my video I think that I have recorded the female and the male, and I will explain you guys why. So on the Pyrennes howl here, the frequency is about 700, 770, 780 hertz. So these that I'm showing you guys, this one is the female. You know, I can play a little bit. You can see it's higher pitch. But then below, at the I can see it here. Yes, so at about 400 hertz, you can see that there are some howls that are camouflaged or are masked by the dog barks. But these ones, I think they are the males. So they started before, and those were the ones that made the dog starting to bark. So they are more difficult to hear, but they are very visible. As you can see, I'm going to show you a little bit better what I'm trying to say. So putting here the contrast, and you can see it clearly that there is some flat howls, very, very long flat howls, also singing along with the one that is above what I'm thinking it's the individual, the female individual. And as you can see, it's not the same individual because they are singing along each other. So the male very far away, even my recorded didn't manage to record it quite nicely. The recording, you notice that it is very far away, and the female was on the valley that I was camping, so that's why I captured the audio of the supposed female better. But as you can see, the male runs along with the dog barking underneath, and even here you can see that there's a very flat howl. So it's possible that even the male howl was longer than the female, but I'm not sure where are if they broke the howl somewhere. So it's very difficult. The audio, it's not very, it doesn't have very high quality because the subject was very far away, and I'm speaking about the male. But as you can see, it's very knitted, and you can see it very clearly that there is something howling beneath at around 400 hertz and underneath the female howl, as you can see. So the dogs went crazy, and Chris Spencer from the Olympic Project also speaks about that. And they notice that when they do this singing, all the dogs around, even if they are very far away, the dogs they have very good hearing. So when they hear this kind of singing, this howling, that's very long, they go completely crazy, and they went completely crazy here. But then they just stopped. As you can see it here on the spectrograph, they just stopped. This whining here, I really don't know if it's the female doing, but it's very strange. And if Sasquatch do, if they howl like canines and like wolves and dogs, are they whining also? Are they making all those sounds also? And why they do it? That's very strange. And I want to speak about that because most people, and mostly North America, because of coyotes, and coyotes have a higher pitch than wolves and have a bigger distribution, are the most likely mammals to be mistaken for Sasquatch. And a lot of howls are being mistaken with coyotes. So what people don't realize is that coyotes and canines have a wide range of sounds. They have a wide range even of howls. They have like fluctuating howls. They have the barks, those aggressive barks, but they have inside the howls, they have very different howls. They have fluctuating howls where they fluctuate their pitch. They have flat howls. And that's the big problem about, and speaking about Sasquatch, is about the flat howls, because one of the ways that we researchers and mainstream researchers that put their work, at least that I know, that put their work on YouTube, on the web, and they and share what they are finding. We all think that Sasquatch also do these flat howls, but the problem is, when is it a coyote? When is it a Sasquatch? And I'm going to speak about that. So I managed to. Okay, so let me put it here. So flat howls, fluctuating howls, and types of howls. So since science is my area, it was very easy for me to pick up some papers and some peer-reviewed papers and studies about wolves. And so Iberian wolf howls, acoustic structure, individual variation, and comparison with North American populations. So they speak about that. They speak and they show you here some types of howls. So this one on the on figure 1 is a flat howl. As you can see, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Usually wolves do these flat howls that are almost impossible to differentiate from the Sasquatch ones, because on those flat howls they can be very flat and they don't fluctuate. Whenever they go a little bit longer, they usually fluctuate, but they can still put some very flat sounds, because you can see at least 8 seconds was a flat, a straight, almost straight flat note. And usually wolves that are lonely wolves, and they are not lonely because they want. It's like I explained to you guys before, the cubs with they are not cubs, they are mature wolves, but with 2 years they leave the pack because they want to form a pack of their own, and then they wander, and then they become lonely wolves. And when they become lonely wolves, trying to find a mate, a female or a male, to form their own wolf packs, they do these flat howls that usually on canine social behavior means, hello, I'm here, there is someone there? And depending on the response, they know if there is a wolf there, or if there is another wolf trying to respond, if it's aggressive, if it's an aggressive wolf pack, and then he must leave because he will be killed. So they have their own language, and flat howls are used by lone wolves that have wide ranges, and sometimes they go where people even don't know. They can go even in areas that people don't know there are wolves, and are not usually, it's not usually a part of wolf distribution. So even in North America, wolves are now increasing their wolf distribution. They are now in California, at least 3-4 wolf packs that I know, and some of those wolf packs, and those wolf packs are stationary, but the other ones, and the forecomers that made those wolf packs, they had to go, and there are still wolves from those wolf packs that are going to places where there are no wolf packs and trying to establish their own wolf packs. So people have to realize that they can probably get some wolves howling, and the howls could be not the ones that we see on films and movies, but only one flat note saying like, hello, I'm here, is anyone there? And then he stops and he doesn't vocalize anymore. So a lot of information here. Even on introduction, they speak about flat howls being around 11 seconds at most. Here you can see another study. This one is about the Indian subspecies, the Canis lupus palips, and I'm showing you here. So the best known wolf vocalization howl is a long-range harmonic call used for territorial advertising and social cohesion. Wolf howl acoustic structure has been shown to vary across individuals. So even each individual of wolf has his own particular way of howling. So that's how they know each other. So they don't do howls that are a copy. They know each other only by sound. So if the pack has 11 wolves, if any wolf howls, the other wolves know which of them is howling. So that's amazing, and you can see that in a lot of animals there are a lot of studies that have proven this, that animals can have their very own social vocal range, and they usually use it to differentiate themselves and to communicate in long ranges. So among the Canis clade, smaller species generally have howls that end in a sharp drop in frequency and greater diversity of howl type usages. previous research has shown that Indian wolf owls generally have a higher mean fundamental frequency compared to other wolf subspecies, which may be attributed to its smaller body size. They were trying to test that smaller canines have higher pitches, so that's relatively true, but they have found out that not for the Indian wolf, so they could howl at 400 range, sometimes 300 something, and some individuals that would be smaller or not could howl around 500, 700, 800, till almost 900 hertz. So it depends on the individual, it depends on the weight and the volume and their body size. You can see here, I'm going to show you. So some of the spectrographs of the flat owls. So it's about 1 second, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half seconds. So it's very usually to have. It's very usual, and it's common to have 6, 7, 8 second flat howls from wolves. So if you are capturing an audio and you see a flat note that's about 9 seconds, you have to think that could be a wolf. If it's around 300, 400 hertz range, it could be a wolf. 400 above, it could be a wolf, or it could be a coyote. There are some coyotes, and I'm going to show you that can vocalize in a lower range. So in United States, that's a big problem because the coyote range, it's almost the whole country, and you even have, let me show you here. Where is it? Okay, so I'm going to show you the wolf range in North America. So this is the wolf range. You have wolves coming from the Canada, Wisconsin, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming. Now the ones that were being released in Colorado, Oregon, and some wolf packs in California. So this distribution range is not up to date. So there's a pack here, there's another pack, 2 packs more to the south. And between all these range, there are lonely wolves around. So these gray areas between these big ranges and these big orange ranges and distribution of wolf are also with wolf, but in lower numbers, and wolves that are not forming wolf packs. And to the south, in New Mexico, Arizona, you have the Mexican wolf that is increasing also. So you have to keep that in mind for people on the south and recording flat howls in the distance. You have to be very careful about flat howls that are shorter than, and the literature says about 15 seconds. So I think there are flat howls recorded with around 15. No, sorry. I think that flat owls, I never saw any flat owl above 9 seconds, 10 seconds. So that's the range of the flat owl. If it's fluctuating, it can get to 15 seconds. Okay, so 15 seconds. It's what literature says about wolf. So that's why the Pyrennes howl, Sasquatch, or unknown howl from the Pyrenees, it's, in my opinion, so important. And also those singing howls from the Olympic project, because they surpass by a lot what we know about what the only thing that can be in this part of the planet that can be mistaken with Sasquatch. So wolves and other canines. So 18 seconds for the singing howls of the Olympic project, around 30 seconds for the Pyrenean howl. So that's a lot, and that for sure cannot be a wolf. There is no wolf, never, it was not recorded anywhere in captivity in the wild, any wolf that can sustain a note for 30 seconds, not even for 18. But there's a big problem identifying the smaller, short vocals and the short, flat howls of them that are available, and the howls that are available on the web, and I have seen quite a few. Okay, so let's take these ones out. I'm going to show you the distribution range of the gray wolf in all North America. So in Canada, the wolf is all around almost, and this light orange, it was the ancient distribution. Okay, and let me show you the distribution of the coyote. So big problem in the United States with coyotes, because coyotes have been on an expansion to the east. That's why you are hearing about eastern coyotes. So what's the problem about eastern coyotes? Eastern coyotes went to the west and went to the east by the north. And when they went to the east by the north, going around Canada, they have hybridized with eastern wolves, and that's why you heard about cow wolves. So the population that constitutes the eastern population of coyotes, so around Vermont, New York, all those states to the east and to the Atlantic, usually hear that those coyotes are bigger. And they are, because they have a slightly percentage of wolf blood, and people call them coy wolves. There are coy dogs also, because they can all interbreed and can all hybridize, but they have like 10% genetics of wolves, and so they are bigger. And being bigger, they can vocalize it, they can put flat howls that are lower in pitch. I can show you guys an example. So we can go, let me see. We can see a video of Chris Noel, Impossible Visits. He's on Vermont, and he has a nice video of a sighting of a coyote that started to bark and to howl, and then he managed to spot something very strange around, and that's very interesting how Sasquatch and coyotes, they are sometimes together, and people are usually telling about seeing Sasquatch and being followed by a wolf or by a coyote. And if you think we humans have made dogs from wolves and have domesticated the dogs, and we have chosen the canines for our companions, so why not Sasquatch doing the same? I'm sorry. So let's see Chris, and let's hear Chris' video.
Guess that's a coyote or a wolf up there. Woo! Sheesh. At this point, the coyote appeared right in front of me.
So this guy is eastern coyote, so bigger than normal coyote.
Sounded like a little knock. Hear that? Sounded like a branch break. I waited a long time, but I didn't hear anything else from up there. A sharp-eyed friend later noticed something that I hadn't seen in reviewing the video footage, much less in person. A dark head right down here. Okay, so he was right there. Oops. Right behind that little pine tree, like 100 feet. He pops his head up, which really does make me think that he wasn't the one making the sounds, because that would have attracted attention directly to him. Has to have been another one trying to distract my attention. Perhaps the one that was showing himself was a juvenile, and some older one was trying to prevent me from noticing him. So here's that tree.
So if you want, you go to Impossible Visits. So it's Chris Noel, amazing YouTube channel with lots of information, different ways of thinking that I usually share most of his thoughts. It's a very fine researcher that it's doing a lot for Sasquatch for the Sasquatch community, and maybe most of the people that doesn't give him the appreciation he deserves. So that's another story. And let me show you guys Chris Noel coyote. So is it this one? Is it this one? So I've taken the howl of the coyote from his video, and you can see here the flat first note of the coyote. See? Okay, let me play it. Sorry. So is howling around 700 hertz. So, and usually you don't see coyotes howling below 500, 600, but some huge individuals, and they can do that kind of voice, and you will think that it could be a wolf, but there are some coyotes that can range very, very, very low. And let me try to, because I have another coyote here. I think, no, this one, wolf, Bioacoustics. Where's the other coyote? So this one is lion. Eastern coyote. So I have another example of an eastern coyote, and now you can see the flat howl here, very close to the 500. So this coyote, this one was howling at a lower pitch that you could possibly think it's a wolf. But usually coyotes do it shorter. So as you can see, it's like 1.5 seconds at most. And I can show you guys this one. Oh, sorry. That's not how they sound. See, how deep it sounds, but I can assure you this is a coyote because I took this audio from a video of a known animal, so I have seen the animal. It's a coyote. It's a big male, so he howls a little with a deep tone, and they can even howl without this beginning that is going up and the dropping at the end. So they can put a flat howl like wolves. It's not easy to find those examples on the web. They can do it. They can surely do it. Okay, so next one. I'm going to show you a study. So owl variation across Himalayan, North African, Indian, and Arctic wolf clades. So all subspecies of wolf around the world. They were trying to do research on the howl. So within the Arctic clade, the smallest wolf subspecies, the Israeli wolf, had the highest mean frequency and the shortest duration average. So 619 hertz at average, and 2.92 seconds, where areas lower mean frequencies were generally observed in larger wolf subspecies, such as the Mackenzie Valley wolf, average 492 hertz, and average duration of 4 seconds and 14. And the European wolf average at 418 hertz, and the average duration of 5.15 seconds. So this is the average flat howl duration that they recorded in this study. So as I have said to you, for precaution, we should think that they can put flat howls without any oscillation and fluctuation to about 9 seconds, 10 seconds, but 5-6 seconds howls that are flat and that are not very near, so you can see clearly the overtones. So it's a long range howl and you can miss the beginning and the end. That's very easy that you are mistaking the howl with a wolf. That a lonely wolf that is putting his voice out there trying to reach to another one, and putting that flat howl that can go for about 7 seconds. So as you can see on this study, on this paper, so about 4 seconds, 5 seconds is the average, but you can see them doing that for more time. Another paper here, so another flat howl, as you can see, very flat howl for about 4 seconds. This is about wolves, I think. Yes. So eastern gray wolf, Canis lupus lycaon. This study, I think it was done in Michigan or something. Yeah, I thought it was in Michigan, but that's what I wanted to show you guys. It was the spectrograph. So how they can be flat, very, very flat. So that's a big problem when we are studying bioacoustics with Sasquatch, because some of them can be for sure canines. So wolves and coyotes. Those are some of the calls that you are not usually used to, and they are lonely calls. They can do that flat howl only once, and then they shut up for the whole night if they are alone. So that's why you don't think that that's coyotes, because when you hear coyotes, and you are used to identify coyotes by hearing all the pack doing that group howls and those group yelp howls that are very characteristic of coyotes. I can show you guys here some of the wolf howls on a spectrogram. So as you can see, this flat howl is around 378 hertz, and it's flat, very flat howl. The other one, it's another, so you can even see the overtone, so the harmonics. but the fundamental frequency, it's this one. He has done it at around 360 hertz. And as you can see, there are very similarities with some of the supposed Sasquatch owls that are available on the web. So we must be careful with coyotes and wolves. This is wolf, so that's why lower frequency you have to be careful with wolves, and higher frequencies you have to be careful with coyotes. See, I can show you guys another one, so you guys don't think that that's one. This one is two wolves, so this one started earlier, the other one started a fluctuating howl, but the first wolf, it's howling on more of a flat. I'm sorry, you guys, you probably wanted to hear this one, so I'm going to put this howl for you guys. Sorry, don't know what. So yeah, okay. Yeah. So there's, okay. Yeah, not working. Don't know why, because I have this file open for quite a long time. So probably the file is having some bugs. And let me try here. Okay. This one. See how flat it sounds. So we have to be careful. Even if the wolf is very far away, you can even, if the wolf is very far away, you can even get like a very weak signal, you know, and you can miss the hand and the beginning, because wolves should generally go up a little bit, or they can start the howl by coming up and going down. They can do it other way, and they can do it very flat in the end. Sometimes they go down, but they can even do it very flat on the end, and end abruptly, you know. So okay, we don't need these ones. So yeah. So returning to the owl and returning to the Pyrenees. Where is it? Okay, here. You can see the long range and no oscillation, no fluctuation on this howl of this supposed female. So that's quite amazing. And we can hear it again with a little bit more gain. And I will try to show you guys only the howl that is around 800 hertz. And so like this, and like this. So we are going to hear it. it seems that it never ends because it's 30 seconds. It's quite amazing, and it doesn't fluctuate, it doesn't stop, it doesn't. It's amazing. It's a vocal range that at the individual that does this, Sasquatch, we can say, it must have a lung capacity it's amazing, and you can see even without putting the overtones, so it's not that close, and I could not record the overtones and the harmonics, but it still puts a lot of energy on the fundamental frequency. So now we are going to try to hear only the male along with the dogs. Don't know if we can isolate the sound, but we can try. Let me just explain you first. These dots are the dogs. So wherever you see these dots coming, there's a dog barking. So the other sound that you see, that you hear, that is continuous, is the howling of the supposed male. And you can see that it continues to and along with the supposed female. So let's hear it again. And it still continues, guys. It still goes beneath the frequency of the female. It goes to the end. Then it stops, and all you can see is dogs barking. But that's really amazing. You know, I can push the gains for you guys to see. Oh, I have done it. I have gone too far, so I can light up. So here you can see all the flat. Sometimes it looks like it not goes straight, and there are some interruptions, but I think this was because of the distance, and the record could not capture the howl. So the howl with the wind, with some of the conditions, meteorological conditions, can seem to be can fluctuate in their range, in the power, in decibels. So, but you can see and speculate. It's just speculation, and you can speculate that it was also a very long howl, and in some times it was very strong, like here. Here it is very strong. I will try to isolate this one, so we can try to hear it with a little more gain. Okay. No dog bark in here. So the big question is, there is no wolves in the Pyrenees, at least not many. They do not, the literature says that they cannot howl for more than 9-10 seconds. They cannot do a fluctuating howl that it's like this for more than 15 seconds. So that's never been recorded. So what is this 30-second howl that goes flat for at 800 hertz, and the other one around 400 hertz? What is this? So there are no coyotes in Europe. and jackals, golden jackals, are making their appearance to the west, but they are still very small populations in Italy. They usually their distribution range is around Turkey, Greece, and more to the eastern countries. There are some animals that are coming to France, but there are no known reproduction areas so close to the Pyrenees. So the closest, I think it's in Italy and Switzerland. There are some populations that are reproducing already, and they can do some sounds that are closer to, it's not this one, this is coyote howling. We don't need this one, so I'm going to trying to show you guys this one. It's coyote long howl. So you can see here long howls and long flat howls of coyotes, not that flat, so a lot of fluctuation. So we don't need this one also. This is the Pyrennes. I don't, this one's not. So this is from a lion. I just wanted to show you how a lion can show. This is a lion roaring. So as you can see, it doesn't sound and it doesn't look anywhere near a flat howl of a Sasquatch. So we can dismiss this one. And this one is from Chris Noel, the eastern coyote, so the coy wolf, or the coyote with some wolf genetics. So they are the eastern coyotes, so a little bit bigger. And I have to look for the owl of the wolf owl. I thought I had here. The jackal howl here, but they can put some very jackal Europe. I can show you how jackals look. So they look like coyotes. They are a little bit smaller than coyotes, usually on average. And this is their range. So they have strong populations around Greece and the Balkans. So to the east of Italy, and some of they generally don't go around mountains. As here as you can see the distribution, they have some sightings on the north of Italy, some jackals reproducing on Switzerland, and there were two or three animals seen in France, but I think they are not reproducing in France yet, so they are not in the Pyrenees. So the only canines that you could see on the Pyrenees, it's the fox, some wolves, but not many, as I can tell you. So one wolf pack. So how many wolves? What's the odds of facing a wolf in the Pyrenees? It's very low. It's even lower than seeing bears, because there are some bears on the Pyrenees. I think around 100. The population is it's smaller than in the northeast mountains of Spain. So I think there are around 400, 500, at most 500 bears in Spain at most. Not brown bear, it's brown bear, not black bear. We don't have black bear in Europe, only brown bear, the same as the grizzly, but not as big. So they get bigger than black bears, but not as big as those huge beasts of North America. And they genetically how can I say it? They took some genes that science thinks that they help them to avoid people. So they are timid and not very aggressive as the American ones. So in Spain we don't have a lot of stories about attacks of brown bears to people. They usually keep on the mountains, and whenever they see, they smell, they hear a human, they run away. And better for us, better for them. So this is the guy. This is a wolf. So the wolf is one of the main factors for jackals don't go. They don't go around Europe very fast. So their distribution is getting bigger. But the wolves are one of the gatekeepers of the jackal distribution. They kill them. They don't tolerate them. So hope you guys like this video. It was a little bit different. So most of you, some of you, not most, but some of you may like structures better. That you love see the surroundings, see what Sasquatch is building, and don't like this more of this scientific approach to it. But as I said in the other day on an interview, I'm not here to entertain people, so I'm putting out the stuff, so for people trying to understand this phenomena, for people to come to my channel and use what I'm finding to understand and to trying to understand their own experiences. So bioacoustics is a very viable way of researching Sasquatch in the future. I'm going to pursue that. I tell you that in the beginning of next year, so in the middle of January, I'm going again in my next expedition to the Pyrennes again. So it's snowy out there for sure. So I want to go there with snow because if I can track some of the footprints, if that's a very rocky terrain, so during the summer it's very difficult to get footprints. So I want to go there in the winter. And since this singing howl, like Olympic Project is calling it, was recorded in the winter and in January, I'm going there about the same time, and I'm going to record all the nights that I'm going there, trying to get more audio, trying to get more proof with this bioacoustics research and approach. So guys, if we don't see each other, and probably we don't because I'm not going to release another video this week, so have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you guys next year.